How many of you have run into this situation? You've completed your diamond painting and you're ready to display it. But the canvas is not a common size, and buying a frame off the shelf seems nearly impossible. So what are you going to do? Are you going to spend a few $100s on custom framing? Maybe it's not worth it. Maybe you don't have the money. What do you do then? You could just hang it on the wall like mine is here, as is. Pretty ugly, right? Did you know that for just a few dollars, you can transform your canvas into a finished piece of art like this? Today, I'm going to show you how. To achieve this look, you're going to need the following items: a black acrylic paint and 4 thumbtacks. To make life easier, I'm also going to grab some parchment paper to keep my work surface clean, a paper plate to corral all of my supplies. This particular plate I'm reusing from previous crafts, so it may look a bit dirty or odd on the camera. A bowl for my paint, a sponge paintbrush that again I've used many times, and a toothpick to clean up any mistakes. So let's get started. This paint I've had for at least a year, so I'm going to make sure and shake it up really, really well. But while we're talking, do you see a pattern here? I bought 0 items for this project. None of the dollars were spent. These are all things that I have laying around my house. But really, even if you did have to go to the store and buy the supplies, what are we really talking about here? Maybe $5? But again, let's be honest. If you're here, you're probably a crafter like me and have a stash already. So now I'm just taking that acrylic paint and applying it to the tops of the thumbtacks, covering the top completely. I want to make sure that none of the metal is showing through. Then I'm just going to poke the thumbtack through the side of the paper plate by punching a hole, and this will keep them upright while they dry. Okay, so that was a little messy. Let's work smarter, not harder. Going forward, I'm going to secure the thumbtacks to the paper plate and then apply the paint. See, that's why we do things. Trial and error. Learn from our mistakes. Now all of the thumbtacks are done, and I'm just going to let them hang out and dry while I get my canvas started. Okay, here's the canvas. I'm not going to take the time to line my table with parchment paper, but I'm going to use one piece of that paper that I can move around to the area of the canvas that I'm working on. I want to make sure and give myself quite a bit of room between the canvas and the edge of the parchment paper, because when I make the brush strokes, I want to be sure to go all the way to the edge of the canvas. One coat of the acrylic black paint should be enough to cover all of the markings on the canvas, but I'm going to make sure and go through it a second time and do 2 coats just to make sure that everything is clean and uniform. At this point in the process, things are going to get pretty boring, so I'm going to speed it up, but I'll talk to you in a few. So here we are. I've given the canvas 2 coats of black acrylic paint and allowed the canvas to dry really well before hanging it. To hang it on the wall, I took the 4 black painted thumbtacks and pushed them into the wall on each of the 4 corners of the canvas. In most lighting, I can't even tell that the thumbtacks are there. It looks like one completed piece. So easy, so inexpensive. There is no reason to hang those ugly, unfinished canvases on your wall ever again.